Welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show, episode number 62, Get Real, episode number 15. So, you want to lose weight, but you don't want to change. JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet, the diet that is not a diet. Yeah, what does that mean? Well, it means that I help smart, successful women and a few cool men end all of their food and weight struggles in 8 weeks or less. And the reason that the Inner Self Diet is not a diet is because I don't tell my clients that they need to eat grapefruit or they need to eat carrots or they need to do crunches in order to lose weight. You see, the thing is that my awesome coaching clients already know what they need to be doing to release the fat and keep it off for life. Their problem is that they are not doing it. They are plagued with food obsessions, food addictions, scale obsessions. They're plagued with low self-esteem, self-doubts, emotional eating, binge eating, stress eating, fast food addictions, all kinds of struggles, self-sabotage, all kinds of struggles that are holding them back, keeping them fat, stopping them from just doing what they know they need to do to drop the fat and keep it off for the rest of their life. And so, when I coach them through my proven step-by-step system to struggle-free weight loss in 8 weeks or less, they become struggle-free. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. It works every time, but it only works for those people who do it, of course. It doesn't work for the people that sit on the sidelines and they just watch the success stories of my clients keep rolling in. You actually have to do the proven steps in order to get the results. But really, isn't it like that with anything in life? Yeah, I mean, how do you get results by just wishing, hoping, and praying that things will change? Doesn't really work, does it? And before I forget, make sure that you head on over to mypodcastbonus.com because that is where you can grab my free 5-day e-course. It will help you answer the question, is your mindset fit or fat? And it will help you discover what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good and also what you need to or could do about it now. And you can get that at mypodcastbonus.com. Before I go on with today's topic, which is actually Get Real episode number 15 of the JoLynn Braley Show. Today's topic is so you want to lose weight, but you don't want to change. Before we get to that, you might wonder, why would you even want to find out if your mindset is fit or fat? Why would you want to get my free 5-day e-course to find out the answer to that question? Because here's why. Mindset is 92.8% of the struggle. All right? Got to break it to you right now. Weight loss in and of itself is not rocket science, okay? It's simple and it is easy if you do it, okay? And I'm talking about healthy fat release. I'm not talking about crazy things that, like cleanses that there's no way that you can sustain that as a lifestyle, diet pills, things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just living a healthy lifestyle so you can drop the fat and keep it off. But when you have a mindset that is fat, F-A-T, fear attracting thoughts, You might want to jot that down. That's really what the FAT is, F-A-T, fear attracting thoughts. When your mindset is fat, then your body matches. The fat mindset matches the fat behaviors. All right? So if you don't have a weight loss mindset, you're always going to struggle with your weight and with food and with the obsessions and with the whole ball of wax. When you get a weight loss mindset, which eventually transforms into a fit mindset, then it's just not a big deal. It is just not a big deal to live healthy and fit, drop the fat, and keep it off. So anyway, like I said, go to mypodcastbonus.com. That's where you can get my free 5-day e-course to help you find out if your mindset is fit or fat. And today's episode of the JoLynn Braley Show. First of all, remember, this is a Get Real episode. What is a Get Real episode? Well, since I started the JoLynn Braley Show in January 2013, each month I have been offering one Get Real episode. And each Get Real episode is rather hard-hitting. It's a wake-up. It's an episode that is even more direct than my other episodes. And why? What is the purpose of a Get Real episode? Well, here's the thing. It's really easy to stay in denial and delusion and keep being fat, keep being overweight, keep struggling forever. Because you just keep telling yourself, oh, I'll start again on Monday, or I'll start again on January 1st. Oh, well, I already blew it. It's Wednesday. I might as well wait until Monday. Well, how is that working for you? How is it working for you to tell yourself that someday you'll lose weight, someday you'll change, someday is the day that never comes? Today is the day, right now, as you're hearing my voice, today is the day that yesterday you told yourself would be the day that you'd change. But how does it work? How do you get change if every day you're telling yourself tomorrow? Every day you're telling yourself, oh, I'll do it on Monday. I'll start again on Monday. There are 52 Mondays in a year. And how many years have you been doing this to yourself? Maybe, possibly, now is the time for you to get real with yourself. Because until you take the blinders off and you really look at where you're at and you really look at what you're doing to yourself, which, by the way, no one else is doing this to you. No one else is making you fat, okay? No one is, you're not sitting in a chair bound and tied with someone shoving food in your mouth, right? If that were the case, I don't think you could listen to this podcast because your hands would not be free to press the button to start to play this audio. This might sound really outlandish, what I'm saying. It might even sound sarcastic, but I'm making a point, all right? No one is keeping you overweight. It's you. And this is good news because this means that your husband, your mother, your children, your sister, your friends, your boss, your enemies, your coworkers, your clients, whoever, your business partner, there is no one and no thing that needs to change in order for you to release all of your food and weight struggles. It's only you that needs to change. Now, this doesn't mean that you know how to become struggle-free with food and your weight. I highly recommend that you get coaching. Why? Because that's the quickest and easiest way to go from where you are to where you want to be. If you work with the right coach who has the right system that is getting the results for others that you want for yourself. That's what you always have to look at, are results. Okay? Results are all that matter. But if you keep staying in denial and if you're blaming other people or blaming, I don't know, the fast food companies, whatever, and then you just keep telling yourself that tomorrow it will suddenly be different, what are your results? What are your results that you're getting from that? What is the size of your waist? When's the last time you measured your waist? What's your body fat percentage? What size pants do you wear? How do you feel about yourself? What kind of thoughts do you think about yourself? Do you feel depressed most of the time? Do you feel ashamed? Wow, that is the lowest place to be. Shame is the heaviest vibration there is. But you don't have to stay there. You know, my coaching clients are amazed when they learn how to change how they feel without food. To actually go from a place of hopelessness and despair to a place of hope and freedom and joy and appreciation. Now, don't get confused. You can't jump from that low place to that high place without doing the steps in between. But with that being said, you can actually learn how to take full control of your mind and emotions and learn how to feel good without waiting for other people to change, without making other people the reason for your overweight problems, and without turning to food to feel better. So, what does all of what I'm saying here have to do with today's topic in this Get Real episode number 15 of the JoLynn Braley Show? This topic being, all right, so you say you want to lose weight, but you don't want to change. Okay? You want to lose weight, but you want to keep eating 5 donuts every day. You say you want to lose weight, but you don't want to wait until your body is physically hungry before you put food in your mouth. You just want to keep putting food in your mouth. You say you want to lose weight, but you don't want to give up the Wendy's every day for lunch, or the Chinese food, or the beer blowouts with the hot wings and the nachos every weekend. You don't want to give up your weekend binges because to you that is the only way that you know how to release stress from a job that you're working that you really don't like Monday through Friday, but you're not leaving the job because you don't believe in yourself enough to go do something different or try for something different or apply for something different, and you hate your body and you hate the fat on your body and you hate yourself because you keep telling yourself you're going to change, and then you keep telling yourself that you're really going to get out there and make something of your life, and you have a dream for a business or a different career, but because you doubt yourself every day, you just keep overeating. Now this sounds kind of dark, doesn't it? I've been there before. This is why I can talk about all of this. I'm not a permanent weight loss coach who has always been fit. You know, like there are a lot of personal trainers out there who just do the physical aspect. That's less than 10% of the solution. 92.8% of the solution is you've got to have the right mindset. Otherwise, you won't do the workouts. You won't do them consistently. You won't stick with healthy eating without the right mindset. But, you know, there's a lot of personal trainers and fitness people who have always been fit, slender, and healthy. That's not bad. It's not a criticism of them. I'm just pointing out the fact that I know what it is like to be stuck in that struggle with yourself and then abuse yourself with food and feel ashamed of yourself and of your body. But I also know you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there. How do you get out of that all on your own? How do you unravel this big ball of struggle that you have been working on since you were either a child or an adolescent? Because that's where these problems always start. How do you unravel all of this quickly in 8 weeks or less on your own? I don't know. Could you do it over 10 years maybe? Maybe. If you want to take that long and you want to take the hard road, I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend that you just get coaching, get it done. See, you have blind spots, which everyone has. Every person on the planet has blind spots. When you work with the right coach, they can see those blind spots because they are able to be objective if you have the right coach. I don't mean just a regular life coach. You got to have a specialist. And again, make sure that you are looking at results. Results are all that matter. You want to hire a coach whose clients get the results that are the results you want. But how do you see your own blind spots? Since they are blind spots, how do you get out of this problem when it's all you know? This is why coaching is so valuable. Okay, so what about what do you do when you remember today's topic? You want to lose weight, but you don't want to change. Well, how are you going to get the results if you don't want to make changes? If you keep telling yourself that, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow, and you know what, I should be able to eat a huge pile of spaghetti every day with my favorite sauce and garlic bread, and my body should just be smaller. You know, why should I have to change? Why should I have to do anything to get what I want? Why, I see all these people on TV. It looks like it's just magical for them, and everybody's just handing them money and handing them fitness and handing them clothes and makeup and why can't I just do that? Why do I have to do anything to get what I want? Well, that's another problem. That's a mindset of entitlement. And yeah, that's another issue. But it could be one of your main problems with saying you want to lose weight, but you don't want to actually make the changes to do it. So what do you do? What do you do when you're stuck in that place? Well, listen to this podcast episode again, because I've been giving you a lot of get real questions and thoughts here. I mean, everything I've said so far, it's really basic, and it's pretty direct, and you gotta be willing to get real with yourself now. Otherwise, when are you going to do it? When are you going to take the blinders off? You know what's really sad is the time that most people, the average person really starts to live is when they find out that they're about to die. That's pretty sad, isn't it? But every day that you tell yourself that you're going to suddenly make these big changes tomorrow, you're going to finally get with it, you're going to eat healthy, you're going to stick with your exercise routine, you'll do it tomorrow, and you don't. Or maybe you do it tomorrow because it's Monday, but you only do it for one day. And then, I blew it, I'll have to start next Monday. Well, that will go on forever. And then what are you going to do? One day you're going to find out, oh, wow, I only have so much time to live. Now's the time to lose weight. Well, what about that whole lifetime that you missed out on opportunities, experiences, fun, finances, freedom? Seriously, how much more money would you be making right now if you felt great in your body, if you felt great about yourself, if you looked your best, if you had full confidence and belief in yourself? Where would you be? See, you think that you have a weight problem. What you really have is a life problem. The excess fat on your body is only a symptom of a much bigger problem. That's another reason that you need coaching if you want to unravel this and release it as quickly as possible. My clients do it in 8 weeks or less. So what do you do when you want to lose weight but you don't want to change? Well, number one, take full responsibility for your results. There's no one holding you back. There's no one stopping you. There's no the man, quote unquote, out there holding you back. There's no little green man behind the curtain holding you back. There's no wicked queen holding you back. It's only you. It's only you. So, number one, take full responsibility for your results. And then, number two, make a decision. Okay, so you keep complaining about your weight. What are you going to do about it? You are going to have to make radically different changes. You're going to have to do radically different things in order to get radically different results. And obviously, you know that you have to change how you eat and how you move your body. You know that. But you know what the biggest change is that you need to make if you want to release the fat and do it struggle-free and keep it off for the rest of your life? If you want that, the biggest change you've got to change is your mindset. That is over 90% of the problem and over 90% of the solution. And you need a system to do that. And one day is not enough. You have to stay consistent. This is another reason why coaching is so valuable. You have to have accountability. You've got to have follow through. You need to have a professional that you can ask questions of. You need a proven system that works. You've got to get that weight loss mindset. Unless you want to just work with the mindset that you already have that created the fat body that you have, and you just want to struggle. That's different. You can lose weight as you are right now. The mindset you have. You can keep a fat mindset, FAT, fear attracting thoughts. That's the foundation of a fat mindset. You can keep that mindset. You can lose weight. I know a woman who was over 100 pounds overweight, and in her words, what she said was she white-knuckled it. She white-knuckled it all the way. She hated working out. She hated eating healthy, but she forced herself to do it. She said that she expected that when she got to her goal weight that she would feel a sense of accomplishment and she would feel great self-confidence and she would feel empowered. And guess what happened? She did get to her goal weight and she felt none of those things. Why? Because she did it from the outside in instead of doing it from the inside out. If you think that weight loss is going to give you confidence, empowerment, and freedom, you need to get those things now, which are components of a weight loss mindset. They don't come after you see a number on the scale. The number on the scale doesn't give you the freedom. And guess what happened with this lady? She gained back the 100 pounds plus more, and now she's really, really big. And I think she might have just given up. This is not a client of mine. It's just someone that I met in a business coaching course in a group I was in. And she did not want help. But that was her experience and her story that she told me. And there are a lot of people like that. That's called yo-yo dieting. If you then, after you gain it all back, then you lose it again, then you gain it all back. You don't have to keep doing that. On the flip side, one of my clients who I coached back in 2010, his name is Dave. He had been struggling his whole life with yo-yo dieting, and he was 90 pounds overweight when I started coaching him in the Inner Self Diet. And he was 55 at that time, and he just didn't want to do that anymore. He said, "This is the last time, but I really get what you are saying, JoLynn. It's a mindset problem. So I want to get the right mindset. I want to do this from the inside out, and I want this to be the last time. I do want it to release the 90 pounds. I want to lose that fat. I want to burn it off, but I don't want to gain it back." So I coached him. He followed my steps. He followed my proven system. He did release the 90 pounds. Took him about a year and a half to release the 90 pounds, and he has not ever gained it back. and I still get updates from him. That's the most important piece of this success story. He's kept it off, which is really, really, really exciting. So my point of sharing that story, that's a different story than the first one. Okay? Two people, both 90 to 100 pounds or more overweight, both got to their goal weight, but one did it from the inside out, Dave, and then the other, the lady I told you about, she did it from the outside in, white knuckling it, hating the whole process. Both got to their goal weight, but only one kept it off. So when you want to lose weight but you don't want to change, number one, take full responsibility for yourself, for your decisions, for your actions, for your results. There's no one stopping you. There's no one holding you back. Only you are holding yourself back. That doesn't mean that you know why, and it doesn't mean that you know how to stop yourself from holding yourself back. You can get coaching to resolve all of that stuff. But you have to take full responsibility for you and for where you are. Number two, make a decision about what you're going to do now. You know, what are you going to do? If you don't like where you are, what exactly is your game plan? What are you going to do? How are you going to get a weight loss mindset? Or are you going to do it like the first story I told you about, the woman who white knuckled it? You could do that if you want. You'll probably gain the weight back. Why? Well, there's a universal law that all of us live under, and universal laws are bigger than all of us. They're not anything I can make up. They're not anything you can make up, and you can't change them either. None of us can. You either learn how to work with them, or you continue to fight them and you continue to struggle. And one of the universal laws that all of us live under is the inner and the outer always match. The inner and the outer always match. So this is why you can keep a fat mindset and white knuckle it all the way to your goal weight, but you'll gain the weight back because on the inside you're still fat, F-A-T, fear attracting thoughts. You never did the most important part of the work, which is the mindset piece. The mind leads the body. If you didn't have a mind, your body wouldn't work. On the other side, like Dave's story, he learned how to become fit, healthy, slender, strong. He became that person on the inside while he was still 90 pounds overweight. But he became all of that on the inside. I showed him how. I gave him the proven system. He did it. He became that on the inside. Then it was easy for him to live a healthy lifestyle on the outside and drop the fat. See the difference? So you have to decide, what are you going to do now? Because you're not going to lose weight without making changes. How you're living now with an overweight lifestyle, that creates your overweight body. It is delusional to think that you can get a fit, slender, healthy, strong, sexy, awesome body by continuing to stay as living as you are. This reminds me of something that Lisa Nichols talks about, and I completely agree with her. She says that everyone wants $1 million in their bank account. Everyone wants to be thin. Everyone wants the best relationship they've ever had. But most people want to get those things by staying where they are, continuing to live as they are, continuing to stay in their comfort zone, continuing to do the things they're doing right now. They want all of these changes, all of these wonderful results without doing anything different. And I know that is total madness. It sounds really kooky, doesn't it? But isn't that what you're doing too? And this is not a criticism. doesn't mean you're bad. It just means that you are doing what most people are doing, but it won't get you the results that you want. You have to do things that other people are not willing to do in order to get the results that other people don't have. You cannot continue to live like an average person if you want extraordinary results. If you want the extraordinary results of struggle-free permanent weight loss, you're going to have to do something extraordinary. You're going to have to learn an extraordinary, different way of doing things. And it starts with your head and your heart. It starts with your thoughts, your emotional state. It starts on the inside. That's 92.8% of the game. It's an inner game. And then it will be really, 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 once you get that done, you master that, it'll be really, really, really easy for you to do the outer game, which is healthy cooking, planning ahead, meal prep, healthy eating, regular exercise. Those things will be easy. It'll be easy to do those things once you master the inner game. So when you want to lose weight but you don't want to change, you've got to get real with yourself. And there's no better time to get real with yourself than right now. Because if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? It's time for a commercial break here on the JoLynn Braley Show. Today's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is freeweightlossclass.com. freeweightlossclass.com is the place to go to get registered for my free weight loss class. It's a monthly free weight loss class. I teach it live. When you attend live, you get the opportunity to ask questions. If you're not there live, we do send out a replay, and as long as there's no technical difficulty, that's the only reason the replay wouldn't go out. And usually there's not a technical difficulty. But here's a tip for you. If you want the replay, make sure that when you register for my free weight loss class at freeweightlossclass.com, that's www.freeweightlossclass.com, make sure that when you register, you use your best email address, because if you use an email address that has any spam keywords in it, all right, then our email system filters those out and won't put you on the replay email list. You'll end up getting on the live class email list, but you won't get the replay. And it's just how our email system works. So, email addresses that start with the word support or contact or info, there are certain keywords that our email system bounces right out because they are usually used for spam. That's how the filter is set up in our email system. I'm explaining all of this to you to help you get the replay if you're not going to be there live on the free weight loss class. So just make sure you use your best email address. Once again, go to www.freeweightlossclass.com to get registered for the current class that's coming up, and then you will get the replay, whichever replay is in the works right now. And these are great classes, different topics ranging from emotional eating to clean eating to mindset to binge eating to self-esteem, all kinds of different topics. There's a new one each month. All right, once again, do that. Get registered now at www.freeweightlossclass.com. All right, questions to ask yourself. On each episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, I give you questions to ask yourself. Why? So that you can get even more out of this completely free weight loss podcast episode. Grab pen and paper if you don't have it already. Write down each question, then write your answer down, because there is a connection that occurs between the head, the hand, and the heart when you put a pen in your hand and write on paper. You will not get that connection by typing on a keyboard, and there's no way you get that connection by just listening to my voice. I agree with Tony Robbins, who says that you will never, ever, ever learn by listening alone. Just listen. You're not going to ever learn like you will when you put pen on paper. Okay, first question to ask yourself. Have I taken full responsibility for my results that I have with my weight? Yes or no? Have I taken 100% full responsibility for all of my results that I have with my weight? Yes or no? Pause the podcast if you need more time. Question number 2. If I have not taken full responsibility for my results, then who or what am I still blaming? Who or what am I still blaming? And make a list. Make a list of everyone, everything, every company, whoever, whatever you're blaming for your overweight. Write it all down. Pause the podcast if you need more time. Question number 3. How much longer am I going to wait for all of these people and companies and places and things to change before I can get the results I want? How much longer am I going to wait for all of these different things that I've written down, all these places, all these people I'm blaming? How much longer am I willing to wait until they change before I can get the body I want? Question number 4. Does it make sense to me that I'm completely giving my power away to this list I've written, and that I've got to take full responsibility for me and my results? Because otherwise, I'm never going to change. I'm never going to get different results. Because there is no one to blame for my results. It's all me. Does this make sense to me? Write everything down I'm saying and then answer it. I know that was kind of a long question for number 4, but rewind if you need to. Write it down. Do this for yourself. Number 5. If I'm still sitting here right now on this podcast and I'm not even writing these questions down and writing down my answers, then how exactly am I ever going to get to where I want to go? How exactly am I going to make changes if I'm not even willing to do this little exercise on this free podcast? This is a get real moment. Hello. This is a get real moment. Really. You don't even have any skin in the game. I'm not your coach. I don't even know who you are. And if you're not willing to write down these questions and answer them for yourself on this totally free podcast, how are you ever going to get different results? And if you're saying to yourself, well, how do I know this will even work? Well, how do you know if you don't write the question down and write down your answer? If you're not willing to get in there with yourself? And if you really didn't think that I knew what I was talking about, you wouldn't be listening to my voice right now. You wouldn't waste your time. You would be doing something else. You wouldn't even hear me saying what I'm saying right now. And the number 5 question, what's my decision now? What's my next step? Who's my coach? Where am I getting a coach? Or what's my plan? Am I just going to keep doing what I've been doing? I think I'm going to somehow figure all this out on my own. How long is that going to take? That's more than one question there in number 5, but please rewind this, write all of those down, answer them for yourself. I've given you a lot of bonus material here. I know I'm going a little fast, but you have the ability. You can rewind this. It's on recording. You know, if you're going to blow this off and just keep telling yourself that you'll do it tomorrow or you'll change someday or, oh, I'll just make another New Year's resolution, okay, how has that ever worked for you? Remember, this is Get Real episode number 15 of the JoLynn Braley Show. You got to get real with yourself if you ever want to get to a different place. Nothing is going to change if you just keep doing things the way that you've always done them. Remember, Einstein's definition of insanity. Einstein's definition of insanity, continuing to do the same thing over and over and over again while expecting to get a different result. That is a definition of insanity. You keep doing what you've always done. You know what the results are because you've done it for so long. But you think that if you keep doing what you've always done, that you're going to somehow magically get a different result. Hey, you're not alone in what you're doing, but it's not going to help you get what you want. Millions of other people are doing this same stuff, but they're just being like the masses, and the masses are not succeeding like you want to succeed. I don't believe you'd be listening to my voice right now if you didn't have a strong desire to succeed in a big, bold way, not just with your body, but also with your life, because that's where I'm at. And even though I haven't been talking about my goals and the different things that I'm doing, you know on an unconscious level where I'm coming from, even though I haven't said all of those things on this podcast. So I believe that because you are hearing what I'm saying right now, that you don't want to just be the average person out there who just continues to struggle. You have some kind of a dream, and you have more of a dream than just your body dream. There's something else there. You may have forgotten it. You may have pushed it away because you don't believe in yourself. And maybe possibly you have a belief that, hey, if I could just get this body thing under control, I feel like I could do anything. And maybe the body thing is a big deal for you because you do take your body with you everywhere. And how can you really go for it full tilt in your life if you're dragging around a vehicle, which is your body, that you despise? How do you really go for it in your business, in your relationships, in your day-to-day life? How do you really go for it and build the life of your dreams if you don't even like yourself, if you don't even like the body that you're in, if you keep hating yourself? I'm giving you a lot of extra here on this podcast, and I need to wrap it up because I aim to keep these podcasts between 20 to 30 minutes, and this one has gone longer. Hey, I am asking for you to give the JoLynn Braley Show a tip in our tip jar, and it doesn't even cost you money. Please give us a tip in our tip jar. Here's how to do it. Go to iTunes. Look up the JoLynn Braley Show. If you don't have iTunes, it's free to download. Get the download. Get it on your computer. There might be an app for the phone. I'm not sure. You can look it up in the App Store. But get iTunes, log in, search the JoLynn Braley Show in podcasts. Go to the JoLynn Braley Show. Here's how to give us a tip in our virtual tip jar. Rate the show. I think it's a 5-star show, but give us your rating. And give us a review. Type in your review. A really simple thing you can do is just type in what's your biggest aha that you've gotten from the JoLynn Braley Show so far. You know, you could keep it simple and save it, submit it. And when you do those two things, rate and review the show, you are giving the show a virtual tip in our tip jar, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much in advance. And also thank you to all of the millions of people out there who are feeling really, really bad about themselves right now, and they want to feel better, but they don't know how, and they don't know how to release the fat and do it struggle free. And when you rate and review the show for us, not only are you giving us a tip in our virtual tip jar, but you are helping more people to find the show, because the more ratings and reviews that the JoLynn Braley Show gets in iTunes, then the more visible it will be to more people. That's just how iTunes does things. So please do that now. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, you can get a shout out from me on the JoLynn Braley Show. What is a shout out? That's when I say your first name and I say, hey, thank you for being a part of the show. You rock. Thanks for being here. And I just use your first name. And how do you get a shout out? It's really easy. Go to Facebook, look up the JoLynn Braley Show, and click like to like our Facebook page. That's all you have to do. Also, here's another way to find the Facebook page. Go to the JoLynnBraleyShow.com, and that actually will take you right to the Facebook page. The JoLynnBraleyShow.com. Like the page, you'll get a shout out on an upcoming episode. Say that 10 times fast. That is a tongue twister. All right, so on today's episode, we had this was episode number 62 of the JoLynn Braley Show. Remember, this is a weekly podcast, and we have another one coming up next week. I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. And this was episode 15, number 15 of the Get Real episodes. Once a month, you get a Get Real episode. And it is so important to get real with yourself. What did you learn today on today's topic of, so you want to lose weight, but you don't want to change? What did you learn? Well, you learned that you've got to start by first getting real with yourself. You learned that you've got to make the decision to take full responsibility for yourself and your results. Because when you do that and you stop blaming others, for your results with your weight, then it puts you in the driver's seat and you're not waiting for anyone else to change. If you wait for other people to change before you can lose weight and keep it off forever, you'll be waiting your whole life. It's not about other people. What else did you learn today? You learned that you've got to make a decision, and you also learned that the quickest and easiest way to end your struggles with food and weight is by getting coaching, getting the right coaching. You learn that I coach smart, successful women and a few cool men to struggle-free weight loss in 8 weeks or less. I've been doing it since 2009 and it works every time. But you have to do it. You can't just listen to me talk about it. And you also learn that I have a free a free 5-day e-course. I have a free 5-day e-course which you can get by going to mypodcastbonus.com. And when you go to mypodcastbonus.com, that is where you can get my free 5-day e-course, which will help you answer the question, is your mindset fit or fat? Help you discover what you can do about it. Okay? And you could get that at mypodcastbonus.com. All right, so next week's episode, we have something really special for you. It's actually a special format that I got an idea to do. And what it is, it's a one thought shift for weight loss. And that will be episode number 63 of the JoLynn Braley Show. But this will be the first one thought shift for weight loss episode of the JoLynn Braley Show. And what's special about that is that that is going to be an episode delivered to you in 10 minutes or less. Yes, this is an experiment. This is something new I'm doing. I'm not going to do it on every episode, and the Get Real episodes will always be shooting for 20 to 30 minutes. This one has gone much longer today, but I gave you a lot of extras in today's episode. Because why did I give you so much extra today? Because if you don't make a change now, it's not going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Someday is the day that it never gets here. Someday, there's no day called someday on the calendar. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Where is some day. It's not there. It's never going to be there. So that's why I gave you so much extra content today. I gave you so many extra questions. There's actually more than 5 that I gave you. And I strongly recommend that you write those down. You write those questions down, you answer them, you write the answers down for yourself, pen on paper. But next week will be episode number 1 of the One Thought Shift episodes for weight loss, and that's going to be delivered in under 10 minutes. And specifically what it is I'm going to give you a one thought shift for weight loss delivered to you in the form of a question. And to get the most out of those episodes, you want to get pen and paper, write the question down that I give you, and then write down your answer to it. All right, and it's going to be really a short blast, 10 minutes or less. Those are going to be really short episodes. Again, I'm not going to do every episode as a one thought shift for weight loss. I'm just testing something out just to include a different format. That's all. Everything is fine. Everything is okay. You will still get full episodes also. But this is just something I got an idea to do. So tune in for next week's episode, number 63 of the JoLynn Braley Show. It will be the first episode of the One Thought Shift for Weight Loss. And I would love to hear your feedback on the One Thought Shift for Weight Loss episodes. Also, you can leave me comments on my Facebook page. Remember, go to the JoLynnBraleyShow.com. Also, you can leave me your thoughts on the One Thought Shift on iTunes. Remember, please give us a virtual tip in our tip jar by rating and reviewing the JoLynn Braley Show on iTunes. I will see you again next week. In the meantime, this is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet, the diet that is not a diet. I coach smart, successful women and a few cool men to struggle-free weight loss in 8 weeks or less. I've been doing this since 2009 and it works every time. And I wish you your best life while living inside of your ideal body.